Dragonchain, Dragonchain, ja ich rock die Dragonchain, Dragonchain, ja ich rock die Dragonchain, Dragonchain, yeah Galaxy Boy. Ja ich hab den Dragon Spirit, Dragonchain den Neck ich kill es, ja bis kill es, ey ja ich hab den Dragon Spirit, Dragonchain den Neck ich kill es, ja bis kill es. Speie lila Flammen, ganzes Game am Brennen. Du machst den Track hier an, deutsche Rapper rennen. Ja, du weißt ganz genau, dass alle grad erkennen, dass ich einfach besser rappe als die deutschen Rap-Legenden. Meine Rap-Skills technisch heftig, deine Rap-Skills sind extrem schlecht, Bitch. Du bist nur ein Cash-geiler Zweckreimer mit Patent auf Rap-List. Ich bin echt nicer Textschreiber mit den besten Tracks, Bitch.
Ey, yo, Alter, nur kurz gefragt, ist schon alles so? Kannst du nicht wenigstens noch so einen ganz kurzen Part bringen?
Pass auf. Mein Beast ist trapped in the brain, Chains gonna break. Funkener fliegen, ich flex insane. Text in grade, it's way too late. For you to stop me, denn ich zeig, was das Game. Im Netz machst du auf Gangster, redest davon, dass du Cash hast. Auch in Real Life bist du Penner, ein Kinderwitz wie der Wendler. So, hast du jetzt genug?
Yo, das war übel krass, Mann.
Danke, Mann. Und weil du es bist, kommt hier nochmal die Hook für dich.
ディズニーが最初に開発し、その後スピンアウトし、オープンソースとなったドラゴンチェーンからドラゴンチェーン商用プラットフォームおよびドラゴンチェーンインキュベーターが登場。まず資産となるデータの保護に重点を置いているドラゴンチェーンプラットフォームを見ていきましょう。サーバーレス構造を用いた拡張性高いプラットフォームは、スマートコントラクトの開発者たちが Java、Python、Node、C# など使い慣れたプログラミング言語で作り込まれるようパッケージ化されています。さらに、すべてのスマートコントラクトが Amazon AWS とその他の機能にフルアクセスできます。次はドラゴンチェーンインキュベーターを見ていきましょう。ドラゴンチェーンインキュベーターはブロックチェーンプロジェクトのローンチに必要なプロセスを標準化しました。では次にドラゴンチェーンの市場を見ていきましょう。暗号通貨、マーケティング、法律、ソフトウェア開発、採用といったあらゆる分野のスペシャリストたちが集まるエコシステムになっています。また、この市場には開発者たちが再利用目的で収益化したビルド済みのスマートコントラクタライブラリーも含まれています。最後に紹介するのがドラゴンチェーンプラットフォームとエコシステム全体の全てのサービスにアクセスするためのトークン化されたマイクロライセンスです。ブロックチェーンビジネスマジック用に設計されています。あなたも最も安全で柔軟性が高くビジネス仕様のブロックチェーンプラットフォームとエコシステムの一員になれます。10月2日、いよいよドラゴン発売開始。
Yeah. Young.social. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Dragonchain. Mine 10 blocks on the blockchain. My ETH father for the got paid. These dragons selling like they hotcakes. We go to the moon like we don't got breaks. If you wanna transact on a marketplace, Dragonchain. Mine 10 blocks on the blockchain. My ETH father for the got paid. These dragons selling like they hotcakes. We go to the moon like we don't got breaks. If you wanna transact on a marketplace, Dragonchain. My ETH costs more than your rent. I spend my life savings get a 10. Dragons get the hottest coming next. Me and Joe Rose make a bet. All this shit seem new to me. Mix a blockchain with security. Keeping data safe is the fluency. How could you not fuck with the company?
Roles of a denizen. A content creator is a user that creates posts and is rewarded based on the quality of their content. A content evaluator is a user that helps assess the quality of content and enforces community standards. The evaluator is effectively taking part in a marketplace to curate content and is rewarded for early evaluation. A content consumer is a user that wishes to find and consume the most valuable content in a given subject area or within a community. A lair owner is a person holding tokenized ownership of all or part of a community lair. Owners are rewarded with a portion of all mining activity happening within their lair. Owners are incentivized to build the best community of content creators and evaluators.
America's not the government, people. The America is you. It is the Grand fucking Canyon, the Rocky Mountains, the deserts of the Southwest, the Pacific fucking Ocean, the Atlantic fucking Ocean. It is the grandest continent. And what the fuck have you people done? You have turned yourself into sheep, every goddamn one of you.
All right, welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. This is the Dragonchain Updates show. This is episode 1x13b, that is 0x13b, pronounced 1x13b. It's a hex number. It's the 316th episode, weekly episode, 316 weeks of AMAs. Reminder, nothing on the show is ever financial advice, and stay tuned after the updates for the weekly AMA. So first off, we have the Dragonchain updates, and the main thing is the distribution of this show's governance lot, governance tokens was 1,558 tokens. There were 2 questions for 389 lot each. The host received 389. Dragonchain received 390 lot. And I mean, that's, we have a couple of other updates related that have their own special place throughout. So that's it for the main updates. Let's see here. We now go to Den.Social updates. So first off is Den.DAO, and the Emperor has returned. Long live the Emperor, all the rest, whatever you're supposed to say. Essentially, IAM4AM has announced we're going to have the Den.DAO meeting tomorrow. It's the same time. It's 7 p.m. UTC. I believe that is correct. Yes, it should be 7 p.m. UTC and 2 p.m. or 1400 Central Time US. So it is a meeting. There is an agenda posted. Here, let's go and look. The agenda is current open governance votes. Are there any? Should there be some? Open Den support issues. I think there are some of those. Apologize there. Rebranding of Den.Social to Deplatform. I don't know if we announced that name before. I don't know. But open forum, items to be discussed from community replies. If there's something you'd like covered during the meeting, go to this post, Den.Social/L for layer, /L/Den.DAO, DENDAO. And you'll find this post at the top. You can put in the replies here anything that you want to add, if you want to discuss or ask questions. You know, what is deplatform? What does it mean? When are you going to get that stupid white paper out? All that stuff. Then post them there, or go to this link. There's a StreamYard link right here where you can just join the meeting. You don't have to turn your camera on. You can, but you can join the meeting and ask questions and have an open, discussion there. So I hope some people join, because I would like to, start answering questions about deplatform and just, just kick it off and start going with it. It'll probably get us to move faster on the white paper. I've not had time, so I'm not pinning it on anyone else. There's a lot of work to do, and we have a lot done already. But it's always that thing when you get something into a document and the details matter, and so it's not very fast to walk all the way through them and adjust and think about stuff and discuss it and everything else. So I will tell you, if it doesn't come up there, just in case, that the format, I do believe, is going to be essentially, here is for all intents and purposes, a white paper that will describe what is deplatform. It will reference, of course, Den.Social and Den's white paper as well, for, proof of what we've done over the years. But the real interesting thing is, I think we're going to put in, here is an undecided variable, or here are some options of how we want to do this, and that will then be the center, or the multiple points of discussion, and then also the things that we can vote on in DenDAO, right? Before we say, okay, before we vote for approval to even to kick this plan off, let's figure out the little variables and decide, okay, here's what we all decided this should be, and so on. So it'll be very interesting. It'll be very fun. And I do already know that the topic itself, for some reason, a bunch of stuff is coming in toward it from different angles. We have a couple of potential partners that could really help move this forward in a number of ways. So it's looking good. And hopefully that means it's meant to be, and it'll just happen soon. So anyway, show up to that DenDAO meeting, and we can start talking about it there. We'll give you more detail there, at least. All right. And again, it says, okay, no, I have the wrong. So it is 7 p.m. UTC, and that is minus 5. That's so it's 1900. So it's 15. Is that 3 p.m.? I'm so sorry. I don't know. It's either 2 or 3 p.m. I don't know why it's not posted in here, is it? I think it might be. I think William might have posted it in today's AMA. So hopefully he posted it there. Anyway, let's see here. Next, we have World Blockchain Roundtable updates. In case you missed it, last week's episode was Law Zero and what it means for crypto, blockchain tech, and governance, episode 221. It was a good show because I wasn't there. I'm joking. But I did hear it was good, and it's a very interesting topic, although I'm nowhere near an expert with it, especially with how it applies within crypto. But either way, episode 221, go watch it, go share it. And there were a bunch of questions there, obviously. And today's show, which will air in about 49 minutes, is the Roman Storm Case, episode 222, the Roman Storm Case, 222. So that's going to be in 49 minutes, World Blockchain Roundtable. You have a chance right now to get some questions posted, because there are no questions right now. So you should get something in there on that. And if not, if there aren't any good questions, because everybody already knows what they need to know about the Roman Storm Case from that level. I know that Greg, for one, always has a lot of info there. And I have some questions that I'm going to ask everybody as well. Maybe I'll post them after this as well. Because that's super important case. And so this might be a super important episode. Make sure you tune in right after. And, if you get a question in, you get some ownership in the DAO. It's the longest running, the first ever, and one of only 2 that I know of DAO-based podcasts in the world, this being the other one where we copied off of it. So go do that. It's at some point it's going to be important when everybody wakes up. It just takes forever for people to wake up, which we all know, right? Okay, so next is the Meme Asylum update. So Meme Asylum update. Go and follow Meme Asylum X on X. There's also a community on X there if you search for it, and there is a Telegram as well, Meme Asylum. And essentially, we're still working on things, and hopefully that'll get launched next month. And I haven't talked to the team for about a week, so I need to tune in and figure out what they need from me next, and we'll move forward. Next, we have here, I'm going to try to figure out how best to do this, patent portfolio tokenization update. So we are very important stuff happening with it, and a lot of big bits of movement. We're trying to play it clean, safe, trying to make sure that we don't jump the gun, don't try to go too fast. Try to make sure that we don't mess up and leave any opportunity or tune it the wrong way. But there's some really interesting. I know everybody out there in the community is going to be interested in this when it launches, and that would include Dracaria, that would include Den, that would include dragon holders, that would include people that want to interact with anything that we've done in the past, because it will, if we play it right, it's all going to kind of come together and make good sense. So we're working that through. I don't have a lot of info to give you yet, but it could roll out pretty quick. But at the same time, we are trying to play it well, not jump too fast or anything else. The one thing to do, go to dex.finance, and it's DEXX.finance, ASAP, set up an account, because that's the main launch point. That's where that this token will exist first. So make sure you get that, and we'll move forward. Okay, let's see here. Next, we go to Dracaria updates. So make sure if you don't already have one, get an account on Dracaria.com. We've had a bunch of new hatches. There's dragon whales hatch. There's Marky and about 4.5 hours is expected. Crowboy has another. This is going to be nice. It's going to be a water air dragon, right? Which means you could get some interesting colors. You'd get the blue range from water, but all 3 secondary colors or companion colors can come from air. So it could be really interesting. But there's some pretty amazing ones that came out recently, and some really interesting patterns and names, and some of the names that I really wanted to see pop have now. So anyway, really cool stuff. And let's see here. It's very important to get your friends in. We need this to succeed. We need this to roll out well, get enough capital in that we can do the next phases of projects with this, which includes new characters, includes new games, includes new partnerships with game makers and character creators, and even NFT world partners. There's a bunch of really cool stuff that's brewing, and we just need a little bit of capital to do it. We don't need millions and millions of dollars to do any of this stuff. It's just time and resources. So, and the next season is water season, and it starts, the spawning period of water season starts in 13 days, 2 hours. So less than 2 weeks. We are, a good update to know is that we are working on the marketplace. So the native marketplace, which if you look in the nav, is right now marked as coming soon. I don't know how soon it will be up there. The goal is to get it up this season. It might be right after the spawn cycle ends. And, we don't know how soon spawn cycle will end either, but we're kind of gearing up for that. And the very beginning is going to be very simple. It's going to be just fixed price listings. So you could say, okay, here I'm going to sell my egg, or I'm going to sell my dragon, or I'm going to sell this gateway key. And it's going to be, I want $100 or I want whatever you want. And people will be able to pay in. So far, we still have some testing to do on some of the Web3, but Ethereum, US dollar token, US dollar coin, and Dragon, as well as credit card. So you'll have all of that stuff mixed in. Soon after the marketplace, there are some really interesting things brewing that will excite a lot of people who have eggs and dragons. So that'll be super fun, and hopefully everyone will be paying attention and give us feedback as well, on things. And let's see here. The other thing is the merch. So if you looked in there, the merch itself, and we have a whole bunch of different designs. We're waiting. I had to wait on a couple of things for the network, and then time to get back in there. But getting an SSL cert and stuff rolled out. Simple stuff, but there are a couple of steps left to go to get the merch site set up, and then to get all of the items in the store ready to go, and we'll unveil it. So you guys will all be able to do stuff. The very beginning ones won't be personalized yet. Those will be coming, but we're still trying to find a place to do that, or a way to automate it. We could do it a couple of different ways, but it's we have to figure out a couple of little details before we're done with that. Also, make sure you're following Dracaria World on X. That's where all of the announcements are, and there's been some really cool, very interesting conversations with Grok, where Grok actually understands a lot of what's going on in with the genome and some of the rarities. So I was kind of surprised that it understood that. Really cool. And I was also on OV.live last week, Thursday. That's why I wasn't on the roundtable. And we did talk a lot about Dragonchain, but we did talk a lot about Dracaria as well. It's a great interview, great conversation there. And I'm going back for a second one, maybe in a week or two. So it'll be good. They're really friendly for one, but really good team. I like them a lot. They're good. So okay, let's see here. Next, we go to the AMA. So I'm going to show you this right now. And this is 1x13b. I'm going to refresh it. I hope you get your question in. Yeah, I hope there are questions. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, all right. Good deal. First question from Aladita. Aladita is a good one. Always good to see Aladita. All right. So, hi, I have a question about Dracaria egg spawning. Why you guys don't take into consideration Dragon Takara price model for spawning an egg with Dragon? We will. Absolutely. It's I don't know if we'll use the same. In fact, that is a good question, because we do already have that system. I think for simplicity, though, we're doing something very similar, but I think it's a 4-hour range instead of I think that the Takara price is a 7-day, what do you call it? Moving average, 7-day moving average. I think that at least right now, the system that is pulling price in Dracaria is going to do a 4-hour moving average, and that's for Dragons and Ethereum. And some of it's because it's a compressed time when people are coming in there to spawn, and it might be that the average might be way off on any given day. So, like right now, it would probably, I don't know, I guess, but I think that it would right now probably be a bad deal to buy with Dragon, because it's a longer window for a moving average. So, but either way, we are going to be doing Dragon. We intended to last time, but we ran out of time before the spawn period. So we have it set up and built. We're supposed to be testing it today or this weekend, or sorry, tomorrow or this weekend. And, we have 2 weeks left, so we should be able to get that in. And you can buy with Ethereum, which, by the way, has the same 4-hour moving average on the pricing. And everything right now is priced in dollars in Dracaria, but you can, so you can pay in credit card, you can pay with stable coin, you can pay with Ethereum, or you can pay with Dragon. And Dragon will be great. Okay, so next question. And Dracaria is a Dragonchain project. Why not time-based loyalty applied for spawning eggs, like discount and spawning fees or early access, like mentioned in the early days in Dragon Incubator and Dragon Scale? Is there any specific reason? One of the big reasons is because it's an independent project. I mean, yes, I created it, but we have people who are founders who are not, Dragonchain people. Although everybody in the loop is a fan or a longtime community member, but it's not it's not fully and wholly owned by Dragonchain. So it is its own thing. So we're using a lot of the same concepts, and we're trying to blend in. We're accepting Dragon is one, because even that I was a little worried, because if we sell everything in Dragons, it's going to be a little rough, because we don't want to cannibalize the market for Dragon, where we need capital. So if imagine if we took 100% Dragon, it wouldn't be good for Dragon right now, because there's not enough liquidity. I can't even get on an exchange to buy anything, let alone Dragon, or sell it, right? So it would be rough. So what we're trying to figure out is, how do we integrate it? And accepting Dragon is good, because Dracaria does need Dragon to operate, right? Obviously, every single thing that happens on Dracaria goes on Dragonchain, and including even the Forge API, like say the API that is being built for third parties, for game devs, indie game devs, and more corporate purposes, that there are APIs there to gather entropy, and every single one of those calls is going on chain, right? So the more we do this stuff, the more Dracaria will need. Right now, Dragonchain is essentially subsidizing, that, right? So it's basically giving time and dragons to Dracaria so that it can operate. But in time, it'll be able to do it on its own, and that'll be a beautiful thing. So that's the biggest reason. There will be some other things, and like I said before, you will want to pay attention to that patent tokenization project, because although it's called the patent portfolio tokenization initiative or project, it doesn't only include the patents. There's going to be a lot more involved in it, and it's going to be really interesting. And it will end up covering a lot of things. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you understand. And not that you wouldn't understand, but I mean, hopefully you agree with some of the how do I say this? The compromises we've had to make this work. So we're on the way, and my hope is that Dracaria ends up getting so much business that it becomes a good driver for Dragonchain itself, that a lot of what Dragonchain gets will come from Dracaria, because there's so much money flowing in there. So anyway, there will be a bunch of really interesting stuff to come. So, but thank you for the question. Great question, by the way. Really appreciate it. Every time you do ask one. Okay, so I am asks an original question about Den. Den support layer has a lot of people asking about payouts of Matter. Any updates? I don't have any updates except that the dev is aware and has just been, there's too much to do. So I think I said this a week or two ago, that it is probably, and anybody could look and tell us actually, I haven't had time to look, that it is probably either that the the address which calls from the backend system that basically wakes up and calls the payout address is devoid of Ethereum. Maybe there's not enough gas to do it. It could be something else on the back end with a library where it's waking up and can't go further because something is needs to be updated. It could be something where, if you look and the ETH is moving, but it's not showing up in the accounts, then that is the back-end system that needs to be updated or looked into. But if it is that the Ethereum isn't moving, then it's probably even simpler. So that's the update we have. Maybe I can talk to him today or tomorrow and run that down. We'll see. Okay, another question from IM4AM. Good morning. Okay, FYI. DIN meeting Friday, August 22, 2025. That is tomorrow at 7 p.m. UTC or 2 p.m. Central. Okay, I had it right earlier. Excellent. 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. I think that's what I saw in the notes. That's what threw me off. So make sure you go to that. I described it earlier. You can go to the DIN layer, and you can find the post, and you can ask questions and then watch later if you aren't able to watch it live, or you can click on the link and show up and ask questions live. So it'll all be good. Okay, Free Press asks, I was looking at U.S. patent 106666426. Figure 14 on page 14 makes it look like there are patent infringers. I'm not sure what you mean. Do you foresee how we will be able to go after bad actors? So there is some level where, not being a lawyer, I want to make sure it's very clear that nothing that I will say in answer to this should have any effect on what is determined in the future, because I'm answering a question as a layperson, not as Dragonchain's legal representative or even legal advisor. I'm very much a layperson with this. And I will speak in terms of engineering, right? And what I know about the world and software and how Dragonchain works and how the systems work which these patents describe. I think that makes sense. And so a big disclaimer, I don't, this is not legal advice for sure, and it's not financial advice either. And yet there are, and this is, from other, how do I say, people who are experts at patents. And, this is my understanding from what they've told me. So it's very secondhand information. So take that for what it is. But they tell me that once you get a lot of, and this might be what you're referring to, once you get a lot of people citing your patent for other patents, that it doesn't mean that those people are infringing on the surface, right? It doesn't mean that. What it is apparently, though, an indicator of is that your patent is in the center of a lot of interest, right? Which means people are building things that they want to describe, which might have some relation to your patent. I don't know if that means anything to you or not, but I have heard that it generally means that it's an indicator that some groups might be infringing, mostly not because the people that are citing it are infringing, because I don't know if that means anything or not. I'm not an expert, but that it just means, if you wrote, like, say if you wrote a patent and got it and it was granted, and it was for, let's say, a better mousetrap, right? The classic better mousetrap. The gist of it is that if nobody ever cited it, it's very likely that whatever you did with that mousetrap wasn't interesting or wasn't very useful. Maybe not interesting, might be really interesting, but it wasn't useful in a real way for other patents to draw on those ideas. And when something gets a lot of citations, it means that it's, I think, taken more as an indicator for people looking for, because some of the word that I've had related to that was from groups that make a business of finding infringed patents and going and trying to find ways to get some type of resolution or settlement or licensing for that patent, and they take a cut, and that's how they do their business. And so we had apparently at least a few patents, more than one, that had this phenomenon that there was a ton. And if you looked at them at the beginning versus now, there's a ton of citations on a few of them. That that's, I guess, meaningful from what I draw from the this very very loosely drawn. But the question, how do I foresee how we will be able to go after bad actors? Yes. There are a number of ways, and I think that we're probably going to look at, and this is, by the way, part of the model for that patent portfolio tokenization project, that you need capital to do some of this stuff, or good partners, and you need information, right? And so you think about it, okay, we have a very advanced blockchain system. We have a lot of these patents that we call them holy grail patents. I really think they're like holy grail patents. If you were to go to let's say some of the bigger consultancies or some of the bigger tech companies that obviously care about blockchain in some way, if you were to go to them now and these patents didn't exist, they would probably do anything in the world to get these patents. And there are a lot of theories along those lines for other things that have happened with Dragonchain that might have been caused by that same value, right? So, and if you look at a few, might have been a month or two ago, someone did a full thread with Grok publicly on trying to come to a valuation, and it was really interesting because it was a very insightful info from Grok on what is what these patents are worth, and it was on, I think, very conservative, but it was still in the tens of millions of dollars. So the fact that we've not been able to do, we've been shut out a lot of places for invalid reasons, which everybody knows that 7 years SEC stuff. When anybody who knows what Dragonchain is just thinks it's crazy, but they weren't doing it because of the reasons they said they were doing it. So whatever. So anyway, we have some amazing ideas to go after bad actors. It will be it will be at least described in the paper. I don't think that to the detail, because it'll be a program that we set up, and that'll give us some flexibility. But the paper itself will describe the concept of how we're going to do it, and it's going to be to draw attention to get information that would be very hard to get otherwise, and to establish the capital to actually go after these people, or at least invite them to license properly, in a way that's reasonable. And we don't want to be crazy or anything else, but we have to do something, because they've shut us off everywhere else, and hasn't been fair. So anyway, so that is the last question. Thank you very much, you guys. And in the meantime, let's see here. Every participant who got a question in will get lot from the Dragonchain layer. You only get one, like William only gets 1 credit for, even though he had 2 questions. And I reserve the right to revise and extend my remarks, as always, in case I said something stupid, which who knows. Sometimes you do that without thinking about it. In the meantime, I'm going to close out here. Go to Dragonchain.Store, and be ready if you can to buy some Dracaria merch. There's going to be some really cool Dracaria merch. I can't wait, because I want some, and I hope that I can get it quickly, right? I don't know how fast it'll take to get here. And let's see here. Make sure you watch us again next week, and make sure you watch the Roundtable, World Blockchain Roundtable, today in 21 minutes at 1100 Eastern, 1500 UTC. Make sure you follow Dragonchain, Real Denizens, Dracaria World, and Jojo Row on X and Den.Social. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. Adaptable approach is palpable. If this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.